What's up? We're all short on time. We all have aches and pains, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to take us through a little 10-minute session for our low backs. I slept on a futon last night in my nursery for my daughter, and my back is a little stiff this morning. So I'm just going to take us through gentle stuff for it. Stretches, mobility, that kind of thing, and maybe finish off with some single leg deadlifts because those are always good to hit save on the document. And improve our movement. So I'm just going to pop back here on the mat. If you want to follow along, please share, like, comment, all that stuff, and make sure that you follow along at Kinetic Potential PT. I also have stuff up on my YouTube channel as well. So thanks for following along. I'm just going to pop back here. I'll talk you through it, and let's get going. We're going to be on our backs to start. And we're going to have one leg straight, hugging behind one leg. We're going to pull our toes back and kick up nice and straight, just 10 times. Working on stretching out our hamstrings, our calves. And we're going to be using our hip flexors just a little bit. There's nothing wrong with using our hip flexors. Most people's hip flexors are actually tight because they're weak. And we just keep them in a shortened position all day. And so if we use them more, which we're going to do right after this, if we use them more, they actually will know when to turn on and when to turn off. And they'll actually be a little bit more loose, a little bit more supple. And they'll probably give you a little less pain. They'll bother you a little less. This feels great in the morning. Alright, so we're going to be staying down here, similar position. Like I said, we're going to use our hip flexors, but we're going to make the same shape, okay? So we're going to be down here, no arms. You're going to lift your leg. Oh, there's your hip flexor working. And then our other one comes up, down, then we reset. We're going to make 5 on each side. So trying to keep as straight a knee as possible. As far as your back goes, you just want to stay steady in your trunk. You don't want to peg your back down to the floor, creating flexion. You don't want to arch your back up. That might be hard to see with my black shirt on and black pant. But you don't want to make a tunnel that a mouse could drive a little bus under. You just want to stay nice and braced, nice and strong. I think that's 4. Let's do one more. And 5. Now we're going to switch it all around. So this is a mobility drill. Because when we're here in this position, we're stretching our hamstrings, but actively. And like I said before, we're using our hip flexors, telling them when to turn on and when to turn off. That was a terrible rep. There we go. We got 2 more like that. Whew. All right, so now that we used our hip flexors, we stretch our hamstrings and our calves a little bit. We want to stretch our hip flexors. So you're going to be down here on one knee. You're going to tuck your pelvis underneath. Actually, I'm going to take my shoes off. So you got your big toe tucked under. It's always good to get big toe mobility. It will help you with all your propulsion, jumping, running, cutting. Anything athletic you're doing only benefits from better big toe mobility. You're going to tuck your pelvis underneath. You're going to come up. Now maybe you're feeling a stretch here already in the front of your hip. Great, stay there. That's all you get. If you don't feel much of a stretch, tilt forward, grab your ankle, and just make sure that you're upright, okay? I don't want to see you arch back too far. If you're doing that, you're just putting compression on your low back. See if you can't get your heel towards your butt and feel that pulling a little bit more in your quad. But you'll also still be getting your hip flexors like this. We are flying. We got a lot of good stuff today. But all packed into 10 minutes. We're already on our 3rd drill. It's going to take 2 of your minutes, 1 minute per side. Staying nice and tall. Going to squeeze in my butt cheek, get a little bit more stretch in my hip flexor that way. Now we're gonna switch, same thing on this side. And there's nothing that says your side to side has to be the same. Maybe the reason your back is stiff, achy, talking to you, whatever you wanna say, is because maybe you don't have the same mobility on each side and you're trying to do bilateral movements like squatting or deadlifting, or maybe you're trying to do sports that require both your hips to move well, like golfing. Ooh. Wobbly in the morning. Whew. So we're staying upright. We're here for 60 seconds. There we go. All right. Oh, I guess I should use my watch instead of the clock that's behind me. 15 seconds left to go. We're gonna make some bird dogs and cats and camels. Except we're gonna do the cats and camels in a slightly modified way. All right. So typically with a cat and a camel, you have your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. But for today, I want you to sit back on your heels, and you'll see that this rounds my back a little bit, and that's okay because we're actually focusing on our upper back by doing this. So basically, we flex our low back a little bit, we bring our hands right to our knees, okay? If you need to be on fists, great. If you need to get a chair and put your hands up there, no problem, or a stool or an ottoman, anything like that. You put your hands right in front of your knees if you can. Make a big arch. I'm pushing away from the ground as much as I can, and my shoulder blades are spreading apart, making room for my thoracic spine to go up. Because if we have a lot of rigidity in our thoracic spine, our low back can have to take some of that pressure that typically would get dispersed through that area, and it can start to hurt. It can get overuse. You can get too much pressure being put through it. After we sit rounded at our desks all day, on our phones, watching TV, eating, driving, our mid-backs get a little stiff, and we can put pressure, too much pressure, in our lumbar spine, and this starts to hurt. And we're going to go 3 more in each direction. Drop down, your shoulder blades come together. Push away, your shoulder blades come apart. There's 1, 2, 3. Great. Okay. Where are we at? All right, so we're going to make some bird dogs and then a lateral chain stretch or a lateral child's pose. So here we're going hands and knees, toes are tucked under, knees are under our hips, hands are under our shoulders. Braced in my trunk. Okay, I don't need to be really arched and I don't want to be tucked. Just want to be nice and neutral, creating no movement in my back. Reaching as long as I can. You see, I'm not going up. That's not good for our back. We're long and long. 8 on each side. Okay, now we made it to the last thing. We have a minute per side. We're gonna sit back. Most people are familiar with the child's pose or prayer position, whatever you want to call it. You're sitting back as far as you can. If you need something underneath your knees or underneath or between your ankles and your butt to kind of spare your knees, be my guest. But your hands are gonna come out. From here, maybe you're feeling a stretch in your lats and in your side. I really want to get down low into your quadratus lumborum. So we're going to reach out and then move our hands over for 60 seconds. Let's see if I can see. Okay. And so we're just stretching out the side, the lateral portion of our back And if you're really tight on one side of your low back or the other, this might feel great. It might be a muscle that sits between your ribs and your belt, called your quadratus lumborum, or QL for short. Woo! And we're just here for a minute. And we'll go to the other side. I think we were there a little bit longer than a minute. That's all right. Okay, it's a great way to start your day. Maybe your back's been bothering you throughout the day and you want to finish your day with this. It's 10 minutes, so you can do it a couple times throughout your day. You can do it in the morning and at night. So yeah, this is my morning mobility. This is what I'm doing. My back actually feels pretty good right now, better than when I woke up, that's for sure. So please follow along, like, comment, share, all that stuff. If you know someone whose back is bothering them, send us along. I'm always here to help. If you need, please reach out in my direct messages, or you can shoot me an email at kineticpotentialpt@gmail.com. So you guys get moving, drink your water, eat your vegetables, get your sleep, and yeah, enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time.